Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Swallowed Star 2 episode number 96 based on novel. So let's start. The Lord of the Mother River, the information recorded by my master is not the same as what he gave me. Luo Feng thought. According to the intelligence records given by Master Di Chu, the Lord of the Mother River is ferocious and unruly, and is ruthless and cruel. He practices both the origin of life and the origin of cause and effect, and possesses a terrifying secret treasure. The secret treasure is like a sharp thorn, and is called the cause and effect wind by the outside world. There are as many as a dozen god kings from the royal family of the ancient Yangfeng kingdom who died in his hands. He can be said to be the number one enemy of the ancient Yangfeng kingdom. Firstly, the supreme rule of the origin continent limits the power of foreign life to the upper limit of the chaos realm, and the power of local life to the upper limit of the ultimate divine king realm. Even if the ancestors of the two countries return, the damage to the origin continent will be limited. Secondly, the two paths of life and cause and effect that the Lord of the Mother River is good at have two great advantages in saving lives. The ancestor of Flame Wind once made a move. Although the power was limited to the ultimate divine king realm upper limit, he relied on his super high realm and terrifying treasures to instantly kill all the clones of the Lord of the Mother River in the origin continent and all the resurrection carriers. But when the ancestor of Flame Wind left, the Lord of the Mother River unexpectedly appeared again. Obviously, he had a way to prevent the ancestor of Flame Wind from completely destroying all traces of him. The ancient country of Yangfeng hates the Lord of the Mother River to the core, but they still cannot kill him. Many of the god kings who have grudges against the ancient country of Yangfeng have joined the Mother River of Life. There are as many as 7 or 8 god kings of the second level, which has also made the Mother River of Life act more domineering and powerful. Luo Feng had felt it before. He recruited subordinates in his own territory without even bothering to tell him. A North Wind god king dared to challenge him. And my master also has a grudge against him. Luo Feng knew this. The Lord of the Mother River hates all the royal families of the ancient country of Yangfeng. A close relative of Master Di Chu died at the hands of the Lord of the Mother River. Master naturally hates the Lord of the Mother River very much and has hunted down the Lord of the Mother River many times. Facing the ultimate life form, Di Chu, who destroyed the origin of the Great Tao, the Lord of the Mother River could not defeat him even with the main clone carrying the secret treasure, cause and effect wind, so he has always been retreating. One of his subordinates, the North Wind God King, is so arrogant. The Lord of the Mother River is so friendly, and believes that I will join forces with him. Anyway, the kindness of Master, the kindness of Emperor Ming, and Di Chu Yu and Di Chu Ying have helped me enough. Luo Feng put the matter aside for the time being and looked at the original ancestor standing aside. Original ancestor, let's go. Luo Feng said. The original ancestor nodded. It was beyond his expectation that the matter was resolved so smoothly. Luo Feng left with the original ancestor in an instant. Soon, the eternal true gods gathered here one by one in this square. Hundreds of eternal true gods were a little confused. From now on, my fiery flame sect will completely withdraw from the territories of the 20 chaos states led by City Lord Luo. There will be no more recruitment and screening in the future. You all go back. A magnificent voice echoed in the square. We are already here, please have mercy on us. We want to join the fiery flame sect. These eternal true gods were anxious. However, this decision was made by the supreme leader of the Mother River of Life, the powerful force behind the fiery flame sect. All the 20 chaos states were withdrawn without any objection. We received the invitation and worked hard to rush here from the surrounding areas. Although the fiery flame sect has strict screening, 1 out of 10 can get in. Now there is no chance. Although the fiery flame sect is mysterious and powerful, it is obviously no match for City Lord Luo. Lord Luo is powerful. His battle with the Lord of the Food Kingdom was earth-shattering, but he doesn't care about us eternal true gods. These eternal true gods are elites. They came here only after receiving invitations. Of course, they still have to go through screening. There would have been dozens of people who could enter the Fiery Flame sect among the hundreds. The Fiery Flame sect is one of the many forces under the Mother River of Life. These eternal true gods will belong to many forces and there will be internal competition. Let's go. Alas, it's so difficult for us eternal true gods to ask for a legacy and an opportunity. It's rare that there is a Fiery Flame sect, and it was expelled by Lord Luo. Hundreds of eternal true gods could only leave helplessly. Yuan and Luo Feng returned to the City Lord's mansion of Huyang City together. Luo He. Yuan said, in the process of tracking the Mother River of Life to infiltrate our 20 chaos states, I have a deep understanding of ordinary eternal true gods. It is difficult for eternal true gods to find an opportunity and a suitable inheritance. So they are very concerned about the recruitment of the Mother River of Life. Luo Feng nodded. In the origin continent, the Chaos Realm and some sects rely on inheritance and resources to make the eternal true gods under their command fight hard. Back then, I wanted to earn some resources, and I also spent a lot of energy. We drove away the Mother River of Life, but the eternal true gods in the 20 chaos states in the territory lost a big opportunity. Yuan said. What do you mean? Luo Feng looked at him. With your growth rate, Luo He, the territory you will rule in the future may be much larger than it is now. Yuan said. I think we can cultivate suitable practitioners in advance. Luo Feng smiled and said. I don't care about the size of the territory I rule. If you are strong enough, even comparable to the level of the Emperor, I'm afraid that the God Kings will come to surrender with their entire country. Yuan said. The Lord of Qiankun of the Food Kingdom will probably be terrified, and it's normal to compensate you with the entire territory of the Food Kingdom. Luo Feng narrowed his eyes. Compensation? Lord Qiankun, there is no chance to compensate. However, if the Lord of Qiankun is dealt with, the territory of the Food Kingdom will probably be under his name. You don't care about the size of the territory, but those ordinary practitioners do. Yuan said. If the ruler is too cruel and ruthless, ordinary practitioners will naturally live a miserable life, just like the ancestor of the Snow Realm. Countless creatures in the entire Snow Realm are miserable. And if it is under your rule, the life of ordinary practitioners will be completely different. Yuan said. Luo Feng was shocked. It was a small matter for himself, but it had a far-reaching impact on countless practitioners. You're right. Luo Feng looked at Yuan, who saw things more clearly than he did. My many illusory clones have been integrated into every aspect of life on the entire origin continent, and some have even ventured into other countries. Yuan said with emotion. I know very well what kind of life ordinary practitioners lead. Luo Feng nodded, then let's establish a sect and recruit disciples in the name of the sect. What's the name of the sect? Yuan asked. Daohe sect. Luo Feng smiled. Yuan understood. He certainly knew that Luo Feng was once called Daohe King during the original universe. I'm sorry to trouble you, Yuanzu, about the sect's rules, the sect's recruitment of disciples, and all aspects. Luo Feng said. Yuanzu created the secret method virtual universe a long time ago, and now he is even more in-depth in this path. He has a thorough understanding of the operation of the world and the desires and emotions of all beings. Luo Feng is most relieved that Yuanzu is in charge of this matter. Okay. Yuanzu was happy to accept it. It was his suggestion. He also cared about those ordinary practitioners. Our Daohe sect has territory and resources. The only thing we lack is a truly powerful inheritance. Yuanzu said. Although it is easy to gather a lot of inheritance leading to the Chaos Realm. But the Chaos Realm inheritance, created by different levels of existence, has different effects. A Chaos Realm editor. A God King went to write. Even a God King at the Ultimate Realm would write the same inheritance content of, leading to the Chaos Realm, but the one written by the God King at the Ultimate Realm would be simpler and easier to understand, more direct to the essence, and the hope of reaching the Chaos Realm would be much greater. I will come in person. I will write more than a dozen God King level inheritances in the near future. Luo Feng said. Okay. The original ancestor's eyes lit up. With your accumulation and talent, Luo He, the inheritance you create will naturally far exceed those ordinary inheritances that can be purchased by the outside world. Writing God King level inheritance is a very easy thing for Luo Feng. He relied on the mystery of the Chaos Realm to comprehend the 10 Directions world mentality and the first of the 6 mixed attacks. It is conceivable that he has a deep understanding of the mystery of the Chaos Realm. And now, he has realized the 6 branches of life, the 6 branches of destruction, and even the 2 origin roads have merged some tricks of the life and death road. He also comprehended 4 special inheritances, which greatly broadened Luo Feng's horizons. With such accumulation, he began to create the most basic God King level inheritance. I'm afraid it's more effective than many inheritances created by the second level God King. Writing inheritance is also a review and summary of one's own practice. 15 God King level inheritances are all here. In just over 100,000 days, Luo Feng created 15 God King level inheritances and stored them in the newly built Daohe sect headquarters. So fast? Yuan picked up a volume of the God King level inheritance and began to read it. He was fascinated by it. After reading it, he looked up at Luo Feng and exclaimed, "This volume leads to the Chaos Realm. It is simpler and easier to understand than any inheritance I have ever seen, but the upper limit is obviously much higher." Luo Feng smiled and nodded. The upper and lower volumes are integrated. The upper volume leads to the Chaos Realm, laying a solid foundation which is more conducive to practicing the lower volume. I hope it can also improve the God King realm. Luo Feng adheres to his own practice attitude. He does not ask the disciples of the sect to be able to understand the secrets of the higher realms at a low level, but they must also master enough secrets at the same level to make the foundation solid enough. 15 inheritances, 6 of which are the origin of life, and 6 of which are the origin of destruction. There are 3 more inheritances. There is no complete reference to the avenue in the Supreme Rules, so those who are destined to comprehend it should comprehend it. Luo Feng said. In Luo Feng's view, these are all basic inheritances. Each of the 6 inheritances of life only cultivates 1 branch. Each of the 6 inheritances of destruction only cultivates 1 branch. It reduces the difficulty of becoming a God King to the minimum. Of course, Luo Feng also knows. Even so, it is extremely difficult to produce a God King. With these 15 inheritances, the foundation of the sect is extremely deep. Yuan exclaimed. I have to take a good look and learn them myself. I have already reached the Chaos Realm. But now I feel that my understanding of the Chaos Law is not thorough enough. After reading these inheritances, Yuan felt that Luo Feng's foundation was solid. Then I will start recruiting disciples publicly? Yuan said, I will also publicly announce that the leader of Daohe sect is you, Luo He. Only your reputation will make countless eternal true gods eager to join Daohe sect. The attraction of Daohe sect is definitely much stronger than those hidden factions of the Mother River of Life. After all, the Mother River of Life is a force that is comprehensively targeted by the ancient country of Yangfeng. Every time it recruits disciples, it recruits in small groups, and there is no public sect headquarters in the outside world. Daohe sect, founded by City Lord Luo, commands the surrounding 20 chaos states. This is a dignified and upright sect. Start recruiting. Luo Feng nodded. He was quite excited. In his opinion, in the future, when the strong men of the human race come back to the origin continent after reincarnation, they will also become part of Daohe sect. The establishment of Daohe sect is a great joyous event for the dozens of chaos states around Huyang City. Countless practitioners were excited about this, and some eternal true gods from the territories of Shi Kingdom and Yu Kingdom came, wanting to join the Daohe sect. The sect founded by the Luohe Divine King. Lord Luohe was the absolute #1 in the Chaos Realm. After becoming a Divine King, he can immediately rival the Lord of the Food Nation. The practitioners in the dozens of chaos states around here all know the tyranny of the Lord of the Food Nation. For a long time, the Shi Kingdom has been encroaching and annexing its surrounding areas, and even the Kang Kingdom has suffered a lot. Luo Feng fought with the Lord of Food Country and even forcibly took away 10 chaos states from Food Country, which has proved his strength. Otherwise, why would the Lord of the Food Kingdom seed 10 chaos states? When Dao sect was established and recruited disciples for the first time, we recruited 1,508 eternal true God-level disciples and more than 30,000 void true God-level disciples. The selection of true God-level disciples was extremely strict, and we still recruited more than 50,000. Yuan said. Morosa also said, "We have tried our best to raise the threshold, but there are too many practitioners who come to participate. The number is more than I expected." Luo Feng said. The sect was just established, so there might be some flaws in its operation, so the scale of the first recruitment was controlled as much as possible, and the requirements were set very high. However, the number of disciples finally selected was several times more than expected. The main reason is that apart from our 20 primal chaos states, too many practitioners from the surrounding Shi and Yu countries have come here. Yuan said. The rulers of Shi and Yu have not established sects. Only the most elite and dazzling eternal true gods in their countries will be invited to become their disciples. The number is really too small. Luo Feng nodded. He was so dazzling that he received an invitation from the Lord of Yu State to recruit him as a disciple. How many people could be so dazzling? To the rulers of Shi and Yu, disciples mean little to them. Luo Feng said. For their level, the many resources brought by the country are mainly for their family and their subordinates. They care more about some of the resources left by Yuan, and more about their own Han Yuan bloodline cultivation. Among the disciples we recruited this time, only about 1/3 are from our 20 chaos states, Yuan said. I'll trouble you too with the sect's affairs in the future. Luo Feng said with a smile. Don't worry. Morosa responded immediately. Yuan nodded. On the surface, they are both in the Chaos realm, but in reality, Morosa is still at the God King level. It is sufficient for them to preside over the daily affairs of the sect. Maybe you, Luo He, will be needed to give them some disciple quotas. Yuan said, just the quotas for registered disciples, so that the sect disciples can work harder. First, give 10 places for registered disciples and 1 place for direct disciple. Luo Feng nodded. That's enough. Yuan nodded. Morosa heard this and was moved. Master is going to recruit a second disciple? Qingyan's position won't be so stable by then. This kid has been practicing the bloodline cultivation system. I personally taught him and provided him with resources, but he has only figured out one move from the Chaos realm. The distance to the Chaos realm is too far, too far. Like the Blood Cloud Lord back then, he mastered many Chaos realm moves and could even form a complete system. We have to push him hard. Morosa made a secret decision. He knew very well that his master was extremely talented, and Dao sect was recruiting many disciples. In the future, all of his disciples, both direct disciples and registered disciples, would be very talented. Only when Mo Yu Qingyang reaches the Chaos realm and relies on his status as a senior disciple can he maintain his position. Otherwise, even if he is a senior disciple, he will be marginalized among all the disciples because he is just an eternal true God. The establishment of Dao sect was considered a major event in Huyang City and the Yu Kingdom. But in the entire origin continent, it is not very noticeable. It is too much of a stretch to consider Dao sect as a second-rate force now. In terms of territory and the overall strength of the sect, they are too weak. Only the Lord Loha God King can be regarded as the overlord of this area. In a blink of an eye, Dao sect has been established for half a century. The Emperor of Guishu invited me to the treasured land of Dream Realm. Luo Feng, who was in seclusion, was invited to the Samsara building. He was moved and immediately used the token to descend upon the Samsara building with his mind. Luo Feng had been to this building condensed in the illusion several times since he became an official member of the Samsara building. After becoming the God King, Luo Feng also received invitations to take action, but he rejected them all. Brother Luo He. There were 2 figures in the Samsara building at this moment. One of them was Emperor Gui, the organizer of this operation. He was tall and strong, and was shouting with a smile. Luo He. The other figure was a one-eyed woman in a light green robe, emitting a slightly evil aura. She was none other than the Yuntian God King, who was also at the first level of the God King realm. In the entire Samsara building, only she and Luo Feng are at the first level of Divine King. Luo Feng sat down casually and asked, "Who else?" "God King Wuxin will be here soon," Emperor Guishu said, and Luo Feng nodded. After just a few breaths, a young man came in with a smile. "Brother Gui, there any other members?" "There are only 4 of us this time," Guishu Emperor said with a smile. "Brother Luo, he is very rare. He actually came here at the invitation. This is the first time that Brother Luo he is willing to help out since he came to the Samsara Tower." Wuxin Divine King also said, "Brother Luo he has been very busy recently. He just became a Divine King, fought a battle with the Lord of Heaven, and now he has established a sect." "Just finished," Luo Feng said. "Establishing a sect actually adds a burden." The one-eyed woman, godly Queen Yuntian, said at the side, "If a disaster occurs in the future, the sect will become its own weakness." Emperor Guishu said, "Brother Luo he is different from us. He is good at splitting himself into 2 bodies and practicing many avenues. His means of protecting his life are much stronger. Even if he gets into a big trouble, how many people are willing to fight to the death with Brother Luo he? I have seen through it. In the origin continent, the ability to save one's life is more important than the ability to kill." "Yes." The God King Wuxin also nodded in agreement. "You two still think that your means of saving your lives are weak?" The one-eyed woman, Yuntian God King, shook her head speechlessly. Guishu Emperor died in his previous life after being besieged by 3 emperors, and he still had time to reincarnate. The God King Wuxin has the same direct strength as Emperor Guishu, but his ability to escape is even stronger. The Yangfeng ancient country has surrounded and tried to kill him many times, but the God King Wuxin escaped many times. Later, for the sake of his own clan merchants, he took the initiative to reincarnate during the siege. After reincarnation, he hid in the dark, and the ancient country of Yangfeng could not find him through cause and effect. Instead, they became more wary and did not dare to easily act against the descendants of the Wuxin Divine King. Keeping the ethnicity is a kind of restraint. The ancient country of Yangfeng has learned its lesson. How big a threat can a terrifying God King who is free of worries and full of hatred pose? At the beginning, the 3 emperors killed Emperor Guishu's wife, children, clansmen, and even all the living beings in the city because they believed they could completely destroy Emperor Guishu. However, Emperor Guishu's methods were more powerful than they expected. Even after handing over the secret treasure, he was able to withstand the combined killing moves of the 3 emperors for a moment and had enough time to reincarnate. After the reincarnation of Emperor Guishu, he used all means to deal with the Yangfeng ancient country, especially the newly promoted God King. Those God Kings who had just broken through were relatively weak. Emperor Guishu bullied the weak and used all means to attack and kill them, even destroying the resurrection carriers. So far, 7 or 8 God Kings of the Yangfeng ancient country have been completely annihilated. This made Feng Gugua feel very distressed. "Let's talk business." Guishu Emperor sat there. "This time I plan to go to the treasure land, Dream Realm, and I have invited all the members. Only the 4 of us are willing to go together. There are many precious places left by Yuan on the origin continent. Some require quotas. Some are open to anyone. But because there is no restriction, the threshold is extremely high. The powerful forces will try their best to monopolize it, and the only way to get in is to kill your way in." Dream Realm. Luo Feng naturally knew the information about this treasure land. "With my strength, I can't get in. If you get in through the connections in the Yangfeng ancient country, you will have to work for them. That's what a guest official is like. Want to go in? The Yangfeng ancient country can let you in. But many tasks must be accomplished. Even the treasures obtained mostly belong to the royal family. That's the price of getting in. Usually, we 3 take many actions together." Guishu Emperor said with a smile, "This time, we have Brother Luo he, so it will be much easier. In many dangerous situations, we can ask Brother Luo he to help us investigate. Leave it to me." Luo Feng nodded. "To detect danger, you can arrange for a weaker clone. From now on, the four of us will act together. God King Yunqian will be in charge of the domain. Emperor Gui said, Wu Xin and I will be responsible for dealing with powerful enemies, and Brother Luo he will be responsible for exploration. The previous investigations were all entrusted to me. Wu Xin Wang was standing aside, extremely happy. I am good at escaping, but I only have one real body. Once you get into big trouble, there's no way to escape. Now, Brother Luo he is much better at investigation than I am. Because the clone Luo Feng sent out doesn't care about escaping at all. The others don't usually participate? Luo Feng asked. Wu Xin Divine King said, Feng Du and Divine King, both of them are capable of rivaling the level of emperors and monarchs. Unless it is a huge matter, it is impossible to participate. We are not a help to them, but a burden. Luo Feng nodded. The Queen of Fengdu has an extremely good reputation and has never fallen out with any of the various factions. Although the Earth God King and the Ancient Thunder Kingdom fought fiercely, they acted alone. The Great Freedom Lord is the second most powerful being in the Wanjie Kingdom after the Wanjie Lord. He is also the Wanjie Lord's direct disciple. He holds a high position and has great power, so he is not short of resources. He will not participate in general operations. Wu Xin Wang said, Jian Du Wang is the disciple of Yang Feng's founder, and he also does not participate in ordinary actions. As for the Black Fire Lord, after all, he is in charge of a large force and will not easily participate in the operation. Only the best resources in the origin continent can attract the three of them to participate. Wu Xin smiled and said, Sister Gui Yunqian and I are all loners, so we often act together. From now on, we will have another Brother Luo He. Guishu Emperor laughed, although Brother Luo He also leads a force, he has many clones after all. Our team has become stronger. Wu Xin was also very satisfied. I rely on Brother Guishu and Brother Wu Xin to lead me. I am the weakest one in the team, said the one-eyed woman in green. Luo Feng also said, This is my first time operating. I am not very familiar with it. Please tell me if you have any questions. Brother Luo he is too polite. Guishu Emperor still values Luo Feng very much. He is so powerful just after becoming a God King. What level will he reach in the future? It is definitely a great help on his road to revenge. Perhaps the current Luo he is unwilling to conflict with the ancient country of Yang Feng, but relying on Luo he to obtain more precious resources and make itself stronger is also a form of cooperation. The Treasure Land Dream Realm needs Guishu Emperor and Wu Xin Emperor to fight their way in. Luo Feng also knew that Guishu Emperor and Wu Xin Emperor were definitely at the peak of the second level of the God King, more powerful than the Lord of Heaven. Normally, the second level of the God King would reach this level, and if they wanted to go further and reach the level of Emperor or Monarch. According to the known methods on the continent of origin, one can either realize the complete origin of the Tao, or become the Lord of all realms. Either they must cultivate into the ultimate life form, like the emperors and monarchs of the two ancient countries, the resources required are incomparably huge. Either they are extremely gifted, like the Queen of Wind City and the Lord of Mother River, they all practice multiple avenues and cultivate powerful inheritance to match that level. If everyone has no objection, then let's gather at Huangyao Mountain in 3 days. Emperor Gui said. This video will end here.